Hello everybody, welcome to the SimRacingHub World Championship Round 2 from Suzuka, Japan. The international Suzuka circuit, of course, it's not just the national one. I'm Mathew and I'm with you alone once again today. We're going to do a quick sound check and we'll be right back. So first things first, guys, I do apologize on behalf of my voice. I seem to have caught, I don't know, whatever it is. So I'm going to try and pull through and do the best that I can here today for you guys. And we should have a good entertaining race this evening. Certainly a good race in round 1. Oh, baby! If you haven't seen that race, what are you doing watching this one? Turn it off. Go watch the other one. No, I'm joking. Don't turn this one off. I think this one's going to be an absolute smasher as well. The key thing here is that Suzuka is a driver's circuit. It is 53 laps here today, 3.6 kilometers, and it's the only circuit that has both clockwise and counterclockwise turns, because it does have a figure of 8. There's a bridge. You won't see any crazy stunts over the bridge. You won't even notice that the bridge is there, but there definitely is a bridge. So as we get ready for qualifying here, I'm going to rest my voice and we'll take a few scenic tours around the Suzuka circuit. Isn't that lovely? I love the blurred filter on that last one. Okay, voice is ready to go and we are going to plow through. We're not going to get any cold feet here tonight. I am wearing socks. Adidas socks. Shout out to them. They make a really good sock. So let's talk about round 1. What exactly happened? Well, what happened was Ezequiel Montero started the year off with an absolute cracker. He dominated pretty much the entire weekend. He was first in qualifying, he was first in the race, he was fastest lap, and he had almost a perfect start. He made a couple of great overtakes as well. Perfect start to the championship for him, whilst everybody else now is playing a little bit of catch-up behind him. Other stories, the usual contenders were right there. Josh Mills and Argenis Riera were certainly out and fighting. They were fighting on the track actually all day long. It was incredibly entertaining. In the end, Argenis Riera did manage to overtake Josh Mills with a couple laps to go. And again, if you haven't seen it, go back and watch it. It will not be the worst thing that you've ever done in an evening. Meanwhile, here, we enter Japan, Suzuka. So we'll take a little bit of a track, a lap around the circuit when we get into qualifying. We'll go on board with the usual contenders. This is one of them, Argenis Riera. Josh Mills in the Red Bull, expect him to be very quick as well. He needs to get off to a strong start to the year. He seemed to be just a little bit slower than the other guys, maybe using a little bit more tyres in Australia than he would have liked to use, and as a result, it didn't end up going his way. So the championships after the first round, we have Ezequiel Montero in first place. Josh Mills is in second. Argenis Riera is in third. Fourth place was Jean-Pierre Lalancette with a great drive for the Red Bull team. P4, great start to the series. And right ahead of the two McLarens. Now, the two McLarens are separated typically by, nothing. This is probably the most separated they've ever been right now, which is one of them is on circuit around the Degner, and the other one's in the pit lane. Oh my lord. They usually are right together. So we will see whether that's going to happen again here today. Glenn Cooper and OTTO Acosta, who unfortunately did have a few mishaps in the first round. 7th, P7, Darren Fisher. Solid entrance back to the series for him. But then, when you talk about a solid drive, well, Janos Magosrevi, not so solid. He ended up in P8. He did score some points, so, I mean, you got to give him some credit for that. But in the Mercedes team that won the race, the pressure is definitely on him. There's even been talks about him leaving his seat, walking away, leaving the car off in the trees, and walking along the bridge with his head hung low. So likely he's going to probably win here tonight, because that's what happens in SimRacingHub. Other noticeable mentions are Sean Higgins with a great drive in P9, and Juan Orrego with just a great drive sitting in for this guy, Richard Walcott, who is back in the series for round 2 in the Ferrari. So we have demoted Juan Orrego back, and he scored points in the first round. So pressure is on Walcott to keep his drive after such a great drive from Juan, filling him in for him. Other noticeable positions was Bill Worrell was 11th, Jacobo Cardozo finished 12th, Stefan Brodersen was 13th, Dejan Kovacic, oh sorry, this is the ranking, this was not the, I was like, Kovacic didn't finish 14th. There we go, my mistake. I've done it all wrong, ladies and gentlemen. The first mistake of today. Sean Higgins was 8th, Juan Orrego was 9th, and Janos Magosrevi was 10th. I was giving him too much credit. Way too much credit. No more credit given to Janos Magosrevi. We are still awaiting qualifying here. We will see who gets handle on this circuit. Now, the one thing to mention, if you take a look at this circuit on board, it's very narrow, and it's not a street circuit. There is grass runoffs, but not very much. If you see each time there's a grass runoff, like on the left-hand side here, there's maybe a couple of meters and then a wall. Oh, there's a gravel. There's a little bit of gravel before the wall. Even better. It's not going to help you. You're going to end up in the wall with any mistake here. Spoon corner here is one of the only corners with the runoff around the outside. But if you do use that, it's very slippy, and you probably will hurt the tires. So we're on board with Magosrevi. Like I said, pressure is on for the Mercedes team here today. I mean, it's pressure's on when you won the round 1 and you're leading the championship. But it's not always about that, because in the Constructors' Championship, Red Bull Racing is actually in front. And that's all because of Janos Magosrevi. 10th is not going to do it. Not going to do it. He's in P8 right now. Obviously, this is warm-up. It means a whole load of buckets. But Red Bull Racing, because of Jean-Pierre Lalansette's 4th place finish, along with Josh Bill's podium, a great start of the year to them. They are 1 point ahead of the Petronas Mercedes AMG team. Aston Martin in 3rd, all thanks to Argent Riera. 0 points for his teammate last round, who I'm seeing right here. I don't see him. I don't see him in the room, so that's not boding well. That is not boding well. Maybe there's going to be a reserve driver. We will go through the cars right now. Finishing off the championship though, McLaren in P4 with 18 points as well, so still a solid finish for them. The MoneyGram, shout out to MoneyGram, whatever that is. Haas team is in 5th place. Stoke team F1 Sauber, Kick Scream, I don't know. It's a bunch of different things. They got 4 points in P6. Scuderia Ferrari, P7, 2 points. I mean, it's more than they got in real life from China, so that's a plus. And then 3 teams still on 0. Williams Racing, the Alpine team, and the Visa Cash App Red Bull F1 team, Racing Bulls, Toro Rosso thingy majiggies. So let's take a look at who's driving what car today. No surprises, Ezequiel Montero is in the Mercedes and leading the championship, looking to get off to a 2-0 start, which, I mean, it's been a while since I've seen Zeke this locked in. And I can definitely say you want to make a most of this before guys do catch up, because his car looks pretty much as dialed in as anybody else's right now. Josh Mills, invisible Josh Mills, in the Red Bull Racing, sitting in the garage, having a nice, just relaxing, Probably using the bathroom. Or maybe he's listening to this stream. We don't know. Argenis Riera in the green Aston Martin. That's not a car that you want to see in your rearview mirrors. That's just not a car that you want to see in your rearview mirrors. I can promise you, because Riera just has this fear about him that guys just know. Even if he's not screaming by you, it's probably because he isn't using any of the tires. Janos Magasrevi in the second Mercedes, leaving the pit garage to do a little bit more practice. Richard Haney in the Stake Sauber Kick screen thingy-majiggy, the Green Mean Machine. And Haney, it's a good circuit for him, I believe. He's a veteran. He's, should definitely know his way around. Suzuka's a staple. It's been on the calendar for most years. The only time it wasn't was when they did that strange circuit at Fuji, which was 98.7% straight, and then the rest of it was just kind of, bleh, and then there was a straight again. Darren Fisher, Swish Fish, in the MoneyGram Haas F1 team, number 99, looking to have another solid start to the season in the points. He's a quick guy, very quick guy, and he showed it round one. I predict another points finish here today. Maybe a podium, maybe. Richard Haney, you got the Haney-Higgins combo in the green kick Saubers, and they're going to try and kick some B around the circuit here today. Tony Metsalis, not liking whatever that was going on that lap. He is in the Williams car, the blue Williams Duracell car, which is not ran by Duracell, I hope. Dejan Kovacic. Now, here's a guy to watch, ladies and gentlemen, here today, because he made a mistake in qualifying. He ended up starting at the back of the grid, pulled his way through, and he was only really shadowed out by Wanarego, who did the exact same thing. But Kovacic is a fast guy, winner of the Winter Series. He could definitely make an impact here today. Stephen Broderson in the Racing Bulls now, I believe. Sponsored by Visa. Shout out to Visa. Solid driver. I think he's put a lot of practice laps in again. Let's take a look, shall we? If we look at the ranking, where is Broderson's ranking for practice? He has got the maximum practice points, so he's definitely doing what he does best, and it's probably an advantage for him in the start of the season, because these drivers, as they start to get their cars a little bit more dialed in, will start to play catch up a bit. So a good chance for him to kind of steal some points here today. Sean Higgins, great drive from him. Well, hang on. Oh, we already talked about Higgins. Higgins-Haney combo. Everyone's moving. How dare they move and put in laps. Jacobo Cardozo in the Alpine, carbon fiber Alpine. Again, he really should be looking to get into the points. I think he'll be kind of in my favorite position, P11th, a lot of the time, and we'll see whether he can kind of pull himself into the points. Glenn Cooper, with a great drive round one, beat his teammate, OTTO, I believe. Did he hang on to his teammate? Let me fact check that one before I get yelled at. You can get yelled at by a few people, guys, but you do not want to get yelled at by OTTO Acosta. So we will fact check that one. Round one. He did beat OTTO Acosta. I know they were close together at the end. Acosta obviously had that mistake, caught back up, but Cooper had a very solid drive, did what he does best, goes long on the tires, longer than anybody in the world. Cliff Van Lee Ward in the second Williams will be again. Listen, Cliff's a fast guy. Cliff could get some points here today. There's nothing saying that. If you think you're going to just walk into SimRacingHub and get some points, you are dreaming. The captain, John Cook, is racing in the second Alpine. He's got the flames on his helmet, and they'll be hoping for a flaming good drive here today. And the Oppenheimer, Jeff Oppenheim, is in the final one of the Racing Bulls. We are waiting here. For quali to begin. I believe we're waiting for quali to begin. It was a little bit difficult to to know exactly when it begins, but the session has not moved over yet. We'll be waiting for a couple of stragglers to arrive. Excuse me. It's going to be a common theme here today. Sorry if you do hear a cough. I am working through, I don't know, it's maybe we'll see the very first person die on a commentary. We'll find out today. So let's go on board with a lap. We may as well do it now while we're waiting for these drivers to begin. We cannot go on board with Zico Montero, so we'll have to go on board with our Argenis Riera. In fact, no, we will not, because now we're going to start qualifying. So here we go. We are going to start qualifying. Who is going to be the first man out? As you can see, the mad dash to get out of the pits, and Argenis Riera looks to have had it. No! Oh, is there collisions going on behind? Yes! What is going on here? We are all way too... Oh, we're going back to the garage. Let's just start that again. That was a nightmare for Zico Montero. He's going to sit now in the garage and wait for everybody to go by as Argenis Riera screams onto the main straight to be the first driver going round. So we will take a quick look on board. We're going to do an on board with the hot lap with Riera. We're not going to do any of this warming up lap. We want to see it at race speed. So let's see. Did Montero go back out? No, he's still patiently waiting. Now he's going to go back out. Not sure if it was Haney that ended up hitting him. Haney, yeah, it might be, because Haney's back in the garage again. Or was it Higgins? Where is the Higger? Actually, it might have been Sean Higgins, because he's on track behind the Ferrari. Which I believe Montero just kind of caught himself in the sandwich. Not the type of sandwich that you want to be caught in. So Argenis Riera screaming around the warm-up lap. And we will get ready to see what can only be described as probably the greatest lap, hopefully, that anybody has ever seen. Now, we did this last time we went on board with Riera, and Montero sneakily took the pole. So as soon as Riera finishes his lap, we're going to quickly jump over to Montero's lap to see how it goes. So we will go on board with Argenis as we enter the final chicane. You can see how wide he gets for the final turn. Early on the power, easy flat, little bit uneasy sometimes with the rear, and here we go. DRS should be wide open. There it is, as we're going to now scream into turn one. Watch this. Flat, then downshifting. It was about 3 or 4 downshifts down to 4th gear. Come out of it, use all the curb. Now just riding these curves through the S's. You can't make a single mistake, but you've got to carry all the speed through. This last one's a little bit, you got to wait and be patient. And then through turn 7, easy flat now, up to the Degners, one of the best turns on the calendar. 1 downshift. Second Degner, really pulls you in. You can run wider than Riera did, but he didn't need to. He had a lot of grip. Now we go into the hairpit. Oh, he's struggling to slow the car down. You could see the rear of the car just skipping away behind him. And that will have definitely cost him a little bit of time. So he's going to do the run up to Spoon. Stay far right, but don't touch the grass. You can touch that little AstroTurf. Again, he was about a foot or 2 away from the apex. Probably could take a little bit more speed through there, but nice and safe for Riera. The car does look to be a little bit better, except for braking. Seems to be struggling on the brakes. Let's see how the brake is. 130R. Easy flat, especially in qualifying. Oh. Braking 100 meters before it. Clip the curb. Clip the second curb. That was beautifully done. Onto the power. A little bit of a squirrel. Oh, he's going to go very, very tight on the drag to the line. And a 125.7 for Riera. Montero's coming up to Spoon. We promised you that we would go right on board with Montero, and here we are. Oh, that's wide. You can see him pushing. Certainly was taking more speed through that than Riera was. Mills put in a lap time 6/10 slower than Riera, so he's still comfortably fastest. Riera was purple. Montero was purple in the first sector. Oh, and he still had a very fast second sector. It was almost identical to Argenis Riera, so this should be close. Ezekiel Montero jumps into P1, 0.08 of a second faster than Argenis Riera, and that is how that is done, ladies and gentlemen. Third place, Otto Acosta put in a time only half a second down. He's the best of the rest so far. He actually jumped ahead of Josh Mills, who you see there's a little bit of traffic here. He's probably on an out lap or in lap. It's quite a long circuit to do the in lap. Walcott put up a time 1 second away from his competitor. He did a 1:26.6. Also 1:26.6 was Darren Fisher. Let's see if anybody is on a lap here. What is JPL Lalancet doing? He looks like he is on an out lap, so he must have maybe aborted. So we'll have to keep an eye on him. Janos Magasrevi, he's also on an out lap, so he must have aborted his fastest lap. And Ricardo Senior has joined. He is currently in P20, but at least he's going to make the start of the race on his fast lap. Montero is, it says on a lap, but he's going to abort this lap, I believe, because it's not going to be faster than his lap. So you expect to see Montero dive off into the pits. And we will take another look at see who can go again. Mills really does need to improve. He's on an out lap. Montero does pit. Kovacic dumped himself into P7. That was a good lap for him. Where is Magus Revi? He is still in an out lap. He's cruising around. Here we go. On board with Lalancet. This is a fast lap. Degner 1. Degner 2. A little bit hesitant on the throttle. You could see it in the third gear. Maybe you want to see if you can do it in fourth gear. You can see that's how a car's supposed to slow down into the hairpin. Nice and easy. Ooh, but a bit squirrely on the exit. It didn't quite like all those horses going to the rear of the car. Use the turf on the right side of Spoon. Still a little bit more speed that can be taken. And is Lalancet on a hot lap here? He does need to be taking it a little bit easy. Maybe his car's just that good, that he's that grippy. We will see as he's going to kind of come around this last section here into the final chicane. Will he abort the lap? No, he will not. Lalancet is going to finish his lap time, and he is going to end up jumping to P8. So, you know, top 10, but he'll be still a little bit disappointed. The Red Bull is struggling a little bit here. Let's go on board with Josh Mills. Oh, there's lots of traffic. Lots of traffic for Josh Mills coming out of the pits. And he's going to catch them through the S's. He's already ran wide. He's taken a lot of speed through. Mills is really attacking this car. He was a foot away from the apex of the first of the S's, but taking a lot of speed through to counteract. The traffic is not going to come in a good place. It's pushing. He's pushed himself too wide now for 7. Can he get out of the way in time? He does. That will have been a distraction. Let's see how Degner is. Very fast through the first one. Too fast a little bit through the second one. We got away with it. And we got a spinner. That must be Senior. No, it's not. It's Riera. Argenis Riera with a spin on his second run. Oh, that's going to get interesting. He's still in P2. Let's go back to Josh Mills. How have his times been? A 31.1 in the first sector. He's green, but he's not purple. Riera's 31.0 was the best. 30.7 in the first sector for... Oh, Montero, but he's in the wall. As soon as I said that, Montero is in the wall. He's trying to get out of the wall. He's lost his front wing. He will be able to get back. But his qualifying will be done and over. So he was on an absolute stormer of a lap as well. Where is Mills on the circuit? He's going to come across the line. Josh Mills jumps up back to P3. A good lap in the end for him. But wow, Riera and Montero making a mistake on their fast lap. But still P1 and P2. Both of them are in the pits. In fact, Montero's not in the pits yet because he's still trying to get himself around. Not the ideal. Oh, now he's stuck. What is happening? Oh, this is just ugly. Sorry, we're just getting distracted with this. Magasrevi goes up to P5. He is on another lap here. Is he going to abandon and go into the pits? Yes, he will. Walcott on a lap. Coming up to 130R. Easy flat, as we said. Can he break? Yes, past 100 meters. Wow. Lots of curb. Almost too much curb into the first one. But the car did not kick him out. And Walcott will go across the line. Can he improve on P6? Richard Walcott does. He goes to P5. So he jumps the Ferrari over Magasrevi, who is on an outlap, but I don't know if he's going to get across the line in time. It's going to be very close. Fisher has started his lap, so he will get to finish it. Let's go on board with him in the Haas car. Nice tight line. Very different to Josh Mills through the first two corners. It's all about carrying speed. A little bit of hesitation through that first right-hander. This one, you just got to be patient on the throttle. That was quite nice for him. Oh, a little bit of understeer. Letting the car through that corner. Still would have been flat out. Let's see through Degner. Nice and controlled. Uses the turf on the runoff. And Fisher, 31-1. Very, very nice first sector from Darren Fisher. So we're going to stay on board with him here. Oh, and that was a bad idea to stay on board with him. He was green, but now he's in the green. Well, that was bad timing. Great timing for the cameras. Did Magasrevi make it across the line in time? Oh, he's stuck behind a Visa car, and he did not. I said it would be close, and it didn't quite work out. So that might be it. Who is on a lap right now? Vanley Ward is in the kitty litter. Bill Worrell is on a lap, but he's got traffic. He looks like he's going to abandon the lap too. Both Ferraris pull in. Acosta didn't make it across in time. He does end up in P4. So a solid job from him. So 1, 2, 3, no great surprise. The same order that they finished in the first race in Australia. Montero, Riera, Josh Mills. OTTO, best of the rest in P4. He was only 1/10 behind Josh Mills, but Mills was 4/10 behind the front two, who were unbelievably close. 1/10, less than 1/10 of a second between Montero and Riera. So Walcott back in the garage, getting a nice Bovril, and he is in. He's going to start the race in P5. Magasrevi P6. Well, still it's an okay starting place. Fisher in P7. Dejan Kovacic, we didn't see much of him, but he does a good job and gets himself much better starting position this time around. If anything goes by how many people he overtook last round, he will probably win the race from P8 because he overtook so many cars last time from the back of the grid. JPL, Jean-Pierre Lalancette, disappointing for him, really, P9. Glenn Cooper, rounding out the top 10. Mo McGowan's in the top 10, but he'll be again a little bit disappointing, I think, to be that far down. Tony Mitsalis was best of the rest. 25.6, some very close lap times here. 27.3 was his time. So pretty much, if you were 26, you were in the top 10. 27s is where you started to just jump outside the top 10. Richard Haney is in P12. Higgins was 13th, so both the Sauber cars were back-to-back in 12th and 13th. And there wasn't much between them either. There was only 1/10 of a second between them. Stephen Broderson was in P14 in the MasterCard Red Bull Racing. Jacopo Cardozo, a little bit further down than he would have liked in P15. Cliff Vanley Ward, Bill Worrell. Ricardo Sr. keeps himself off the back row of the grid, and the back row of the grid is going to be Cook and Oppenheim, as we are going to go racing for 53 laps around the Suzuka circuit when I return. Okay, we are back live at SimRacingHub. It is Thursday, April the 3rd, and we are on round 2 of the 2025 SimRacingHub World Championship. If you like this series, if you're interested in this series, if for some weird reason you like me talking about this series, even with no voice, go to SimRacingHub.com for all your sim racing needs and get back on the track. Let's get going. Could be the next Ezequiel Montero or Argenis Riera. So that was an eventful qualifying session. A couple of big incidents. We saw Fischer lose it coming out of the hairpin. We saw Montero off at the second Degner. Riera also off at the second Degner as well. So it looked like it might have even been the first Degner that Montero went off. You can tell these guys are pushing. So that's going to leave it very interesting today to see whether they push too hard and whether they end up in those beautiful red, white, and green barriers. I would think that there's going to be a little bit of action here today. Suzuka is very challenging, even for, I mean, in real life for the G-forces, but even for sim racing, just your eyes and seeing the change of corners and left and right and left and right and left and right and under the bridge, and it doesn't seem to let up. And because the walls are so close to the side of the circuit, so narrow, it can be a challenge. You can overtake usually here. We did see some overtaking at Australia, some great overtaking, but there was also some good defending. So we'll see here today where the best overtaking places are going to be. You would think one of them would be going into the final chicane, with the main overtaking place to be into turn 1. Can anybody do a pass, dare I say, into the hairpin? Dare I say, can anybody do a pass into the hairpin? This hairpin right here. I want to see it. I want to see it. Give it to me. Somebody make a pass into the hairpin. That's not too much to ask, is it? Mills is right behind. Is it Montero who's behind? No, it is Magus Revi, sorry. He's right behind on circuit. Let's see how fast Mills' car is on a straight line. He's not going to be using any boost or push to pass or anything like that right now, of course. Doesn't want to make a statement, throw up the inside. Little jink there under braking. We're going to have to keep an eye on that. Traditionally can be a difficult circuit on brakes. So he goes for a pass around the outside. Beautiful pass, may I say. So let's see if Montero, Montero, although he's starting on pole and he's leading the championship, and you would think, okay, he's in a really good position. When you put it in the wall in qualifying, it just lives, it's got a little bit of space in the back of your brain. Just a little bit of doubt when you come around this corner. Especially as the tires start to wear down and stuff like that. Luckily, where he went off is somewhat controllable in Degner 1. If he just takes less speed through it, he should be okay. Fischer, on the other hand, now that would make me nervous, because Fischer lost the car coming out of the hairpin. So as soon as he put his foot on the power, granted with no fuel on, the car flipped him out of the way. And that would make me very nervous running long on the tires, because you never quite know when that's going to happen. So we are finished the warm-up. Ricardo Sr. up to P2 in the warm-up. Doesn't mean anything. I don't need to warm up. I'm already warm. Let's get this going. There's no break in SimRacingHub other than the 5-minute warm-up. If you want to do your taxes or do something in between qualifying and the race, I'm afraid you don't have time. There's no 2 qualifying sessions either. Everything's done in one go. We are efficient, we are fast, and we are almost going to be racing here in Suzuka. Can Kovacic beat his more experienced teammate in the Haas team? That's going to be a fun one to watch. The gap between Cooper And Otto Acosta was quite high as well in qualifying. We'll see whether that can continue or whether Cooper can catch himself back up. Can OTTO have a uneventful race? The calm before the storm. Here we go. Drivers are set back up. A blurry trackside. Well, that's one way to look at it, I guess. Pick out your favorite loved one. Mills. Look at how early Josh Mills is on the grid. I don't think that Sauber went back on the grid. Mills is actually back off the grid now. So he went and went back. There's no harm in doing that, of course. You can do that. Will any of these drivers be rolling backwards? That will be interesting to see. Not sure where the... There we go. So we are on board with OTTO behind the top four. He's got a great view of what hopefully will not be what it looks like going out of turn one. So let's go through the grid for the Suzuka Grand Prix round 2 of the SimRacingHub World Championship. Pole position for Ezequiel Montero. Zeke with a win in the first round and P1 in qualifying despite a little just lick of the wall in qualifying. Also a wall licker, Argenis Riera. He licked himself to a second place starting position in the Aston Martin. And definitely a challenger. Can he jump Montero into turn 1? Josh Mills, P3 in the Oracle Red Bull, might fancy himself to get in the action on the clean side of the grid going into turn 1, because I'm not sure how much pace he has compared to the front two. We'll see if his race pace is improved from his qualifying. OTTO Acosta in P4 in the bright papaya orange McLaren. P5 is the first of one Bermudans in the field, Richard Walcott. P6, Janos Magasrevi in the second Mercedes. P7, Swish Fish, Darren Fisher with another great starting position, alongside his teammate, the rookie, Dejan Kovacic, with another great performance, this time in qualifying. Jean-Pierre Lalancette, a little bit further down the grid that he would have liked in the second Red Bull. Rounding out the top 10 was Glenn Cooper. 11th position, my favorite position, my favorite driver right now, it's Tony Metsalis. Richard Haney starts the first of 2 of the Stake Sauber Kick Green cars, as it's a Haney Higgins 12th, 13th on the grid. Stephen Broderson is in 14th, and Cliff Van Lee Ward is down into 15th position. Bill Worrell far down the grid in the Scarlet Ferrari in P15. Ricardo Senior is P17. The back of the row of the grid would have been the captain, John Cook, and the Oppenheimer, Jeff Oppenheim. But Cardozo is actually starting from the back of the field. So we will go back up front to see, can Riera get a better launch than Montero? Mills, what is his start going to be like? We await for the lights of the Suzuka Japanese Grand Prix SimRacingHub Round 2. One, 2, 3, 4, 5 lights. And we're racing in Suzuka. What a start by Mills. He's already up alongside Montero. Riera with a bad launch. He's down in P3. Did Mills manage to get the pass? He's trying to go around the outside. Can he get all the way around the outside? No, he cannot. Montero looks like he's going to have held him off. Looks like most of the cars made it through. Is there anybody that's... Broderson is down at the back. He may have had some action, but most drivers made it through. Back up to the top. Josh Mills with an absolute flyer of a start. Riera, on the dirty side of the grid, had a shocker. Magus Revi with a great start. He's up 2 positions. He's going to be right behind Riera and putting pressure on. Oh, and there's O'Carroll off. And that is O-double-T-O, Acosta. He's off at the Degner. We said could it be without incident. We almost made it a lap. Not a great start for Acosta. He's going to have to pull himself back through. It looks like he still has all the pieces on his car. So that's good news. Back up the front. Montero leads Josh Mills, who has fallen back now. And Riera is going to be looking at him in the clutch. Here comes Magastrevi. Walcott is the best of the rest, but he's fallen back a little bit. And there seems to be a little bit of a clash. Jean-Pierre Lalancette flew up through the field. So did Dejan Kovacic. And these guys now 6 and 7. Lalancette on Kovacic. Timing and scoring is lighting up left, right, and center, saying that there could be a pass. Can JPL get P6 from the rookie? Up the inside. He gets it done. Easy pass for him. Further down the field, Haney was he's the lead Sauber still between us in. Captain John Cook is all the way up to P14. John Cook is cooking. Further down the field, Cliff Vanley Ward stayed in P15. So the big movers and shakers, shakers were, Josh Mills up to P2, Janos Magastrevi up to P4, Lalancette up the way up to P6 from P9. That's a good start from him. Haney and Higgins jumped up one spot. Mitsalis somehow lost the spot from my favorite position. He's no longer my favorite driver. And O-double-T No is now at the back of the field, trying to overtake the credit cards. The two credit card cars. We'll keep an eye on him because he seems to be the closest right now. Unless it's going to be Higgins and Haney. Easy flat through 130R still, even with the fuel. Higgins will not try anything bold on his teammate, but it looks like Haney ran a bit wide. So did Higgins, though. It's very easy to follow a driver wide after they run wide. Acosta did make a pass. Oh, and Acosta's in the wall! How do we keep catching these things on camera? What just happened? O-double-T-O. It took my breath away. That scared me. We just all of a sudden caught a glimpse and he was in the wall. So his race pretty much done. Is he even going to try and fix it? We don't know. We'll go back to the front. Montero pulling away 2.6 seconds from Josh Mills, who is comfortably still ahead of Riera. A little bit of a train brewing. Lalancette is the big guy on the move right now. He is all over the back of the first of one Bermudans in the field, Rich Walker. Lalancette's pace in round one was very strong, and it's showing here today. Let's take a look at the tires. So Montero started on the soft tires. Very interesting. Everybody else, including Bill's mother, is on the mediums, it seems. Was there anybody on the hards? No. Every single person's on the mediums. So Montero, very interesting call to go on the softs. We've got an interesting fight here today, ladies and gentlemen. Can Lalancette make a pass? Looks like he might be a little bit far back on Walcott. Senior now all over the back of Cliff Vanley Ward. The 13-letter juggernaut, Cliff Vanley Ward. Brought us in the two credit cards still running. He's going to have DRS on his teammate. His teammate has DRS too. But Broderson overtakes his teammate and takes back P18. And all drivers still running, including O-double-T-O. He's still going. Back up the field. Lalancette on Walcott seems to be the big fight right now. So we will definitely keep an eye on that one, as we can run down the order after lap 4 of the Suzuka Grand Prix. Zika Montero for Mercedes is leading the race. Josh Mills is in P2. Great start from him. Absolute cracker. Argenis Riera P3 just put in the purple sector 3, so he's going to be putting some pressure on Josh Mills very soon. Magasrevi up to P4, back almost where he belongs on the podium, pulling away from Walcott, who has got a whole load of JPL all behind him through 130R. But Walcott's doing a good job of keeping that Red Bull behind for now. Is Lalancet going to be closer this time? Let's take a look at the speed of the two cars on the straight. Gaining, but not gaining enough. Higgins is right behind his teammate. So behind Walcott and Lalancet is Kovacic in P7. He's leading his more experienced teammate in SimRacingHub, Darren Fisher, Swishfish, former race winner. Glenn Cooper, the sole remaining McLaren. Well, that's not true. Acosta's still remaining, kind of. But what a disastrous start for McLaren. Oh my word. A team that usually is double points is only getting 2 points right now from Glenn Cooper. 2 O's in his name, 2 points in the bank for now. Richard Haney up to P10, so he's got something to fight on and hold on for. And it's Higgins, Mitsalis, Worrell Cook, and then you've got Cliff Van Lee Ward. He's under a pressure from Ricardo Sr. down in, this is battle for P15. Senior pulling his way up through the field. If he can get some points today, that would do Aston Martin very nicely. Still Lalancet and Walcott is the closest battle. We keep going back to it. There's a reason. Now Lalancet is close. He's sniffing at the back of that Ferrari. And now it looks like a hesitation to get on the power. Walcott did get a good exit. Can Lalancet catch up? Is he going to go for a pass? Is he going to go for a lunge? He took a look, but no dice. So all the drivers still running. That's very impressive at Suzuka, a very difficult circuit. Back out front, 3.2 seconds is the gap for Ezequiel Montero from Josh Mills. Riera, the last lap times were a 30.7 for Montero, a 31, basically 0 for Mills, and a 31.1 for Riera. So all drivers pretty much staying the same right now. Magasrevi and Walcott actually put up the same lap time. Lalancet is actually the third fastest driver on the circuit right now. Fourth fastest, sorry. Could be the third fastest if he could get that Ferrari out the way. Walcott does not usually make very many mistakes. The only mistake that he made for years was having me as his teammate. I appreciate that. Good charity from Walcott. Not sure I brought enough points in for the team. Lalancet looks to be further back this lap than he was the last lap. Cardozo is on the move. He is up to P16. He just overtook the 13-letter juggernaut in Cliff Van Lee Ward. As we go back to the fight, maybe Lalancet is close enough this lap. He is going to pull out. And he got it done. Lalancet is flying right now. Let's see how quickly he leaves that bright red Ferrari in the dust. Whether he's used too many tires, Walcott is traditionally very, very good on tires. No better than this man though, Glenn Cooper, who he'll be hoping to go 700 laps on this set of medium tires. Up front, coming out of the hairpin, got to keep our eyes on these guys because, like I said, we've seen a lot of people kind of hit the walls. Montero will be cruising 3.3 seconds behind. Looks like he's just trying to maintain the gap. Now Riera has closed in on Josh Mills. Let's see if Riera can start to cash on Mills. I think we've seen this before. Riera trying to overtake Josh Mills for a full 90 minutes of SimRacingHub action. Looks like we're going to be on round 2. Well, we are in round 2. SimRacingHub at Suzuka. Cooper and Fisher. Fisher tried to kick a little bit of dust into Cooper's eyes. Doesn't quite work because there's a visor. But it's very interesting here because Kovacic is going to give Fisher the DRS that he needs to stay ahead of Cooper. Can Fisher overtake his teammate? You can see he took a little bit of a look. He's reminding the rookie that he's here. And behind them, lots of experience, just waiting to lap up any mistakes. Higgins and Haney. So Riera is going to be all over the gearbox of Mills any moment now. Is his car struggling in the dirty air? They did say that this year's dirty air is not as effective as last year, so that should provide some better overtaking. Absolutely zero passes into the hairpin so far. I am not a happy boy. Through the spoon curve, taking quite a lot of curb, so feeling pretty good about his car, that it won't kick him into the wall. Now we'll see, do we gain enough down this back straight into the final chicane? Riera was going very, very late into the chicane, but we saw was struggling on the brakes just a little bit in qualifying. Certainly not going to be close enough this lap. You can see Mills took a little bit more speed through the first one of the two chicanes. Costa put the soft tyres on, by the way, as well. I just saw a second red on the tyres on my screen. I was like, what's that? It was a Costa. So he's looking to pull himself back through the field, but he's way, way, way down the order. Fisher and Kovacic still in the same order. So this little train here for 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11. Before Tony Metzalis having a little bit of a race on his own. There's a huge gap. There's an absolutely massive gap. Metzalis can just see the tail end of the guy in front, and the driver behind him, John Cook, not even on the same planet. So Metzalis is already in the he's gonna have a long day here today, that's for sure. Riera on Mills, very close through the hairpin. If I would have missed and overtaken the hairpin, I would have resigned. Ooh, Fisher touching the grass again. It's the second time that we've seen Fisher touching the grass. That's a dangerous way to live, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, there's a yellow flag. Let's keep an eye if anybody starts flying down the order. Doesn't appear so it probably was just Fisher kicking up a little bit of dirt again. Riera on Mills. Here we go. P2. Mills using all of his battery, I'm sure. Goes over to the inside to defend. And Riera's going to be going crazy that he's already defending. But I don't blame Mills for defending here. Yes, you might say it's only lap 10. But with Montero on the different tyre, this is for the lead of the soft tyre runners, so it means something. Oh, Fisher made a pass. We missed it. But Darren Fisher overtook his teammate. We can only assume that he threw some dirt at him and got him his way past. So all has been righted in the Haas team with the number one driver ahead. Oh, Kovacic taking enough curb for me. That just gave me some acid reflux right there. Don't take that much curb, sunshine. Cooper is going to have seen that and think that he now could be for the taking. There's another yellow. This time there is somebody flying down the order, and it is the captain, John Cook, in the Alpine, off at the Degnas. It looked like he was off at Degna 1. Looks like he was off at Degna 1. He's back with all parts on his vehicle, but the captain, Cook, is no longer cooking. Close the stove. Riera on Mills. Easy pass. Nothing that Mills could do about that one. Riera's through much earlier than last race, so now Montero will have been alerted on his radio with something that he will not like to hear, which is that Riera is now clear of Mills, and we'll see whether he can start to close down Ezekiel Montero, and when those soft tires are going to start to go off. Cooper still behind Kovacic, with the two Saubers still lurking in the wings. Cook did not pit, so he's obviously decided to continue to go around. And Acosta has moved up to P19 because Jeff Oppenheim was down there. Acosta's lap time of a 30.5, 5/10 of a second off Montero, off his best lap time. But we'll see whether he gets the hurry up now. 6.5 seconds is the gap between him and Riera. I don't even know if Riera can see Montero. He cannot. If you can't see the driver that you're trying to catch, you just don't think he's there. Can he get a little bit of a glimpse of him through the chicane, maybe? Just a sniff. No chance. Montero's gone. Battle for P13. Ricciardo Sr. on Bill Worrell, who's moving his way up the field. Very disappointing qualifying session for him, but he's moving himself up the field in the Scarlet Ferrari. So running down the order, Ezekiel Montero with Argenis Riera in P2, 6 seconds behind. Josh Mills down to P3 and probably rightfully on pace. Janos Megastrevi, we haven't talked much about him. He's kind of sitting in P4, but he's got a whole load of Jean-Pierre Lalancette now behind him. So let's take a look at this fight. Can we see a pass going through the Degnas or in through the hairpin? There's another yellow. Oh, it's Mills! It's Mills! Mills is off! Mills is off! He's all the way down into P6! Oh, and he's got no front wing! He's got no front wing! He's got to go around the whole second part of the lap. Josh Mills off from P3! We said we would see some mistakes from these drivers today. We said Suzuka was challenging, and oh, it has delivered. Mills is going to be right down far down the field. Lalancette on Magastrevi now for a podium. Lalancette for a podium already. Lots of curb. Oh, and into the pits. Into the pits goes Magastrevi. So Magastrevi is into the pits on the mediums before Montero is into the pits on the softs. What is Montero doing to those tires? The last lap, Riera was a 31.2 and a 31.5 for Montero. So Montero's only losing 3/10 of a second, and he's managed to use the soft tires. He's in a great position. Where is Josh Mills? Trundling down the pit lane. We'll see what tires he puts on. It says hards. He's got to fix damage. Oh, it's an eternity. It's an eternity. You raise me up so I can stand the mountain. There we go, we're off. Thank goodness. Couldn't take any more of that song. So Riera got away from Mills. Mills tried to respond and ended up putting it into the wall. Lalancette into P3. Walcott doing what Walcott does, ladies and gentlemen. Picking up the pieces in P4. And he's actually not far behind Lalancette. We were talking about Lalancette coming through the field, and Walcott just kind of hooked an anchor on when he went by. Montero's still not pitting. 40 laps remaining. The leaders come down the straight. Now Riera can see Montero. 4.2 seconds is the gap. Last time, another 3/10 of a second taken out of the gap from Riera. But this is working into Montero's hands because he's already used the soft tires, and he's going just as long as Riera, so he might be deciding to choose, so long as he doesn't lose too much of a gap, and come out behind him in the pits. Fisher and Kovacic still running around there. It looks like there's a bit of a gap forming, and Kovacic has got a whole load of Saubers right behind him still. This is when the silly season begins because the pit stops kind of jump people up the order. But what's disappointing is although the pit stops usually push people up the order, Glenn Cooper's still down in 9th place. Not a ton of speed for that car today. Let's go on board with it. See what's wrong with the car. Oh, I figured it out. It's the driver. No, I'm joking. How are the brakes? Oh. I mean, that says it all, ladies and gentlemen. Not sure what that line was. On the hairpin. It's the worst line I've seen since 1936. Sterling Moss. I don't know if Sterling Moss was around. I don't think he was that old. I don't know. I'm not sure. Back onto it. Magasrevi pitted. He's come out into a boatload of traffic. He's got a Williams behind him. He's behind the Williams. He's in P11. And into the pits goes Montero. As we'll take a look at Magasrevi. Oh, he didn't leave much room. Wow. Did not want to lift off there. Let's see where's Montero going to fill out. Is he going to come out in traffic? He's going to come out perfectly before the traffic. It's almost like he planned it. Maybe he did, ladies and gentlemen. Maybe he's just that good. So Argenis Riera takes the lead of the Suzuka Grand Prix in the Aston Martin. For now, still on the medium tyres. What tyres did Montero put on? He put another set of the softs on. Very interesting. Normally you would say that this is a risky strategy for Montero and maybe he doesn't know what he's doing. But he's just driving that well that you just start to think, is everybody else wrong? Is the softs that good? If he can make the softs go, let's see, 15 laps, he'll go another 15 laps, that'll be 30, and then he'll go 23 laps, I'm assuming, on the mediums. So he's going to do a two-stop, soft mediums would be what I'm guessing we're seeing from Mercedes. Don't need any of this plan C, plan D to figure that out. Pretty much common sense, kids. Lallan set up to P2, which is pretty much where he's deserved after a sensational drive so far in the Suzuka Grand Prix. He's continued to go around. Riera is in the pits. Oh, he was a little bit slow at getting into his box. That would have cost him a little bit of time. He's going to come out in a boatload of traffic. That 4 seconds, that's a costly 4 seconds. Because these drivers are all fighting for position. They do not have to get out of the way. Cardozo on Senior. Down the straight. Jacopo Cardozo in the Alpine. Senior's got DRS though. No chance for Cardozo. And now you can't overtake around this section. Josh Mills on the hards down in P16. Not where we want to be. And Jean-Pierre Lallan, his teammate, is leading the race. And look who's right behind him. Walcott. We haven't talked anything about Walcott. He's gone. He's still on the same tyres. He's right behind Lallan, who we've said has been one of the fastest drivers on the circuit. And right behind him is Walcott. I don't know how he does this. He always does it. Really hooked up nicely. He must have been saving his tyres early on. Lallan pits. Richard Walcott. Take a lap, son. Take a lap. Leading the Suzuka Japanese Grand Prix for Ferrari with DRS. Doesn't get better than that. Well, actually it does. Zico Montero just put up a 29.5 second lap. 29.5. Whew. That's fast. 30.5 of Otto Acosta is the next fastest lap. So Otto's been moving. But that's the next. Wow, he's a second faster than anybody else has done so far. Obviously, we will see Riera's lap right now. He's fighting through the traffic. Ooh. Not where you want to be. There's no blue flag. There is a yellow flag. And who is it? It's not Mills. It's not Broderson. They just overtook each other. Mills got by Broderson. Back on board with Riera. No pass. Oh, sliding from the Sauber. You can see those tires are no good anymore. Riera, can he do a spoon pass? Are we going to see a spoon? No, too narrow. You can see how narrow the circuit is. He can barely fit 2 cars. And yet the drivers love it and is overtaken. This is what a street track should really be like. This is the most of it. Walcott took my advice, did a lap, and then he did another one. Still going on those tires. Did not pit. Riera lost another great lap. And he's on the hard tires, ladies and gentlemen. Argenis Riera went hards. Montero went softs. Riera's now finally going to get past this kick Sauber. Surely. Yes, he did. And right behind him actually was Cooper and Magus Revi. And like Magus Revi got by Cooper. So Magus Revi's right there as well. This is very interesting because in Australia we saw everybody doing the same tyre, the same strategy. Well, here we do not see that. We see a whole boatload of different combinations. We've got Montero going soft, medium. We would assume maybe he goes soft, hard. Not sure. Then behind him, we have Argenis Riera who's gone medium, hard. So how long is Riera going to hope that those hard tyres last for? Is he going to try a one stop? Surely not. Cannot see that working. I think he'll go hards. Then he'll hope to put the softs on maybe at the end. I would still guess that Riera's on a 2-stop. Behind him, Magus Revi. So Janos took the medium tyre just to make things entertaining. Oh, he's weaving, hoping he moves out the way. Having to lift off through 130R. That's never fun. Lots of curbs. Should be easy pickings for this car. Ooh. I guess we'll be glad to see the back of Sean Higgins. Fisher's in the pits. Magus Revi did do a pass. You've got Worrell and Kovacic going at it. Can Kovacic overtake Worrell? Yes, he can, because Worrell's going to go into the pits. Haney on senior. Haney's going to have to try a pass with the driver in front with the RS. It's a DRS on DRS, and he will get that pass done. Yes, he does. So he's back up the order. His teammate, Sean Higgins, hasn't pitted yet. So Higgins has gone a good couple laps longer. Talking of not pitting yet, look at the lead of the race. Walcott hasn't pitted yet. He's still going around on those tires. He's still leading the race. Now he's got a slight problem that he has an extremely fast Mercedes on brand new soft tires behind him. But Walcott is trying to do something to get himself right in the mix. You can see how much Montero is having to lift. Will Walcott dive into the pits right now? If Walcott pits this lap, this has worked perfectly for him. Absolutely perfectly. Ladies and gentlemen, that is how you do it. Richard Walcott into the pits. Ooh, almost making me eat my words there. Montero back in the lead of the race. Where will Walcott come out? What tires will he take? I'm very interested on what tires he will take. Is he going to go hards? He's going to go hards. I think Walcott is going to go one stop, ladies and gentlemen. Here we go. He comes out in P7. Nice, decently clear piece of track. On the hard tires. Behind Lalancet. He didn't even lose much time to Lalancet. He went 3 laps longer than him. And yet Lalancet is right there, right ahead of him because he came out in traffic. I can't even have pictured this working better for Walcott. Now he's got the hard tires on. Lalancet has got the hard tires on as well. But I don't know if Lalancet can do a one-stop. I don't think he can. I don't think he can. I don't think Riera can. It would be a long way for them to go. Walcott to me seems to be the first driver that seems to have stretched the tires further than they should have gone, meaning that he's able to do a one-stop. Launch it, Haney. No, don't do that, kids. Oh, he's going to be right behind. This is Haney on Cardozo. Cardozo's back up because of the pits. Oh, we actually have a right Lallen set on Cooper because Cooper is still hasn't pitted. So he's still going around on the tires. That doesn't surprise me, however. Walcott did surprise me. Cooper still going on the tires does not surprise me. And we know Cooper's going to go for a one-stop because he was born to one-stop, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, he's got some good speed, too. I know he had DRS, but it's going to be difficult. He's going to be a difficult out later on in the race. Wow. I think you saw every single part of the Alpine diffuser just there. And he's not even going to get the pass done because he got too close to him. Here comes the speed. Just covered him over. Smart move from Cardozo because he kind of just made sure that the door wasn't open because I think Haney was tempted for a little second to have a quick go. So 14 seconds now is the gap between Montero and Riera because the lap times that Montero is doing 29.5, 29.5, 29.475 the last lap. He's a full second faster than Riera. Can Haney do a pass into the hairpin? Ooh! Side by side. Oh no! Into the wall. That's what happens. It bites you. Evil hairpin. Evil. The Haney hairpin. We're going to have to call it from now on. Oh, I'm speaking of Higgins. There's Haney. Oh, and there's the driver in front. Who is that? Is that Senior? Senior got damage. He's falling back at a rate of knots. What is going on here? Whoa, there's a gaggle of cars. A gaggle. This is for position. And right behind them is Josh Mills. Josh Mills, the driver who we thought could win this race today, is stuck behind. Oh, it's a mess. Mills finally will get by. Well, he's got a long afternoon. Will he get by? Yes, he will. Okay, I didn't know if he would do it for once. Walcott. Where is Lallen set? Okay, so there's Cooper now in between Walcott and Lallen set. And this is the thing. Walcott and Cooper are doing the same strategy. But Walcott's right behind Cooper, and Cooper hasn't pitted yet. So you can tell how well it's going for Richard Walcott. And Cooper's going to be in for a couple of points. Just a throw of a few points this afternoon. Unless a whole load of chaos happens in front of him. So Mills is overtaking Higgins. So Mills is up to P11. That's it. He's in my favorite position. No need to do any more work. OTTO down in 18th place. I'm sorry, I can't give much advertising time for him today. He's going to kind of pack it up and go again at round 3. So Montero's absolutely flying. No great surprise. So we remind you to go to SimRacingHub.com if you want to get involved in a league or if you want to, I don't know, take OTTO's drive away from McLaren. Good luck. He's mighty fast. We will be in Saudi Arabia in 2 rounds. I'm not sure about that track. I'm not sold on that one yet. Well, you know, maybe I'll grow to love it. Maybe I'll just take the night off. We don't know. We will see. Back onto the race. All drivers still running. No, the Captain Cook is not running. He parked it. So 19 of the 20 cars still running. Another second pulled out from Montero and Riera the last lap. Magus Revi is not catching up, however. If anything, he's not being caught. Okay, so Riera has finally caught up to the pace of Montero, but 13 seconds down the road. Look at the top 3 tires, though. Soft, hard, medium. You don't see that very often at Sim Racing Hub. Look at the rest of the grid. Hard, soft, medium, medium, hard, medium, medium. It's like Christmas lights. Nobody knows what tire's good round here. It is traditionally a hard track on tires, but no one quite knows which one to go with, which is it could be some surprise results here today. I could be missing something too. If you're watching at home and you're screaming at me, I'm sorry. But if you're screaming that Bill Worrell hasn't stopped, he's on the ultra hards, then I'm sorry, I missed it. I'll catch him when he wins the race. So it looks like this fight is still the fight to watch. The gaggle of cars with Mills. Oh, and there's an overtake right in front of him. That was Haney, P9 on Cardozo. And now Mills is going to be all over the back of Cardozo. I'm not sure what car he is ahead of him. Looks like a, what does it say? It's a McLaren. It's a McLaren. No, it's an Alpine. Oh, yeah, I see. Mills has got to be a little bit fearful of Degner. So that's Mills that made a mistake at Degner. Riera made a mistake at Degner. Oh! One of the credit cards off on the right-hand side. And then Montero also made a mistake at Degner as well. So Degner has been a little bit of a naughty boy here today, catching some of these drivers out. This is the calm before the storm. Look at some of the gaps. Some of the gaps are so large. But one gap that isn't large. Richard Walcott, Jean-Pierre Lalancet. Walcott just sitting there. He got overtaken by JPL. And then he's kind of just used him as a pace setter. Very interesting. I'm not sure how it's going to work. They're both on hards. Walcott is either going to use his tires more, which he is 0.2 of a second faster right now, or he's going to go longer. Cooper still going around on the same set of tires. When are you going to come in? Look, they're so worn, they're black. He didn't put the medium. Cooper can make the mediums look like a set of ultra hards, I can tell you. Look at how gentle he is on the power coming out of the hairpin. It was 6 years before he put the power down. And yet he's still in P6. I don't know how he does it. I love Glenn Cooper's driving style. His ability to just do what he does best. And occasionally he just pops himself onto the podium. Go to SimRacingHub.com for any social media that you would like on this race, on the event. There's a few, crossword puzzles, pictures of me on the beach. None of these things you'll find there. You'll only find racing. Very interested on how Walcott's car is doing. So Walcott is 31.2. Lalancet matched him. In fact, Janos Magasrevi, Lalancet, and Walcott all did the same time the last lap. Where is Walcott going to? He's going to go to the end. So he's going to have to pass Lalancet on the track unless JPL can't make the tires work. So the real question is, can Riera make them work? Because Riera pitted a couple laps before Lalancet did. So how is Riera's car doing on the hards? 30.7, matching Montero out front, who is cruising. Even honestly, if Montero pits and gets any tire on, he can put square tires on. He's going to come out right behind Riera, even if Riera does manage to go to the end. So this race is in the bag. Don't zip the bag up yet, but it's in the bag. The bag is on the carousel. These two guys, listen, you don't have to be that close to each other the entire race. Higgins and Haney, I would love to know if they're on the same setup. They're doing the same lap times. They're both in the points right now, 9th and 10th. Oh, are we going to see a pass into 130R? Higgins on his teammate, Richard Haney. There we go, ladies and gentlemen. A swap at the Sauber team. One green passes another green. Running down the order. Ezekiel Montero, miles out in front, enjoying the lovely hot weather here in Suzuka, Japan. Argenis Riera, cool, calm, but second. Janos Megasrevi, well, no great surprise, back in third for the Petronas Mercedes team. Megasrevi is on the medium tires, so he's going to have to pit again. Lalancet, we do not know if he is going to try and pit again or if he's going to try and go to the end. Walcott, we believe, is not going to go. He's not going to pit. He is going to the end, I would believe. Unless these hard tires are absolute nonsense. Cooper still going around on these tires. Is he going to find his way into the pit? Maybe he doesn't know where the pit lane is. Maybe he just doesn't know. Let's see if he can find his way into the pits this lap. Glenn Cooper, after 700 laps, he's going to do 701 laps. His last lap time was a 32.3, so he's losing a second a lap. I think it's time. I think it might be time. He might be trying to go soft at the end. Fisher wasn't able to pull away too much from his teammate. 3.1 seconds is the gap between them. Josh Mills down in P11, trying to catch and overtake these two green cars to get back into the points. I don't think Mills will be able to go to the end, so he's going to have to pit again. So there's no guarantee he's going to get points here today. P12 on his own, Tony Mitsalis. Bill Worrell in the second Ferrari has moved up the field a little bit, but not enough, I don't think, this afternoon to gain any points. Jacobo Cardozo is in P14 in the Alpine. Ricardo Senior, again, moved up a little bit. Not quite enough to get points, I don't think, this afternoon. Cliff Van Leeuwen is still running around. He is in, I think he's not the lead Williams, because Mitsalis is ahead of him. But he's got a whole load of Broderson right behind him. So that's the closest fight right now on the circuit. So we'll go on board with Stephen Broderson. We like to give everybody some airtime here. DNF Montero. DNF Montero. DNF Montero. DNF Montero. DNF Montero. Montero. He's out of the race. He's out of the race. Was it a disconnect? Montero. He's out of the race. Oh my word. I have no words. I have no words, ladies and gentlemen. Montero had this race under control. He now, I can only assume it was a disconnect. I didn't see a mistake. Oh, wow. I wish I had a replay for you, ladies and gentlemen. I wish I had an answer, but the only answer I have is that car in the garage right there, the Mercedes, had this race under control comfortably. I still think he's going to win. Even though he's not, he's in 13th place and 14th, he's not even, I still think he's going to win. That's how comfortably he had this race under control. That's crazy. Argenis Riera, with the gift of the century, is going to be gifted the lead of the race. He's going to be gifted the lead of the championship from Ezekiel Montero. We knew we'd get some surprises, but I didn't see that coming, ladies and gentlemen. I didn't see that coming. Magus Revi up to P2, and now this Walcott-Lalancet fight is for a podium. Josh Mills is going to get more points than Montero will, even though he's messing around in the middle of the field. Montero is still in the garage. He's in 7th gear, which is interesting. I don't know if that tells us anything. No, because Cook is in 7th gear, so I didn't know there was a disconnect. Yeah, I don't know. We'll assume disconnect or potentially a mistake. It certainly wasn't a failure of any type. So there you have it. Lap 30, and everything has been shaken on its head. Because Riera is now leading the race, but we believe he has to stop again. Magus Revi is 6.4 seconds behind Argenis Riera. He has to stop again. Lalenset and Walcott, we're not sure whether they have to stop again. We don't think that this man does. So Walcott is 11 seconds away from the lead of the race. If Riera pits, he's going to be 14 seconds ahead of him. What do you do if you're Riera now? Do you can't pit? Riera cannot pit. Riera has to go to the end. Now he has to go to the end. Unless Magus Revi starts to catch him up. But he now is going to have to think about going to the end. But Magus Revi has not used both tires. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, Magus Revi hasn't used both tires. So he's going to have to pit. He's going to for sure come out behind this fight. So now this fight of Lalenset and Walcott is for P2. P2, ladies and gentlemen. What a great drive from these two guys. I don't even care who gets it between the two of them. They've been driving just sensational. Don't turn your TV sets off, ladies and gentlemen. Because I honestly don't know now for sure who's going to win the race. If I'm a betting man, I'm going to bet the cat on Argenis Riera. But I never really liked the cat anyway. So if we lose the cat, it is what it is. If I was a punter's chance, I'd put my money on this guy. Further down the field, Cliff Van Leeuwen has just got overtaken, I believe, by OTTO, coming back through the field. He's up to P16, but still got the soft tyres on. He's going to have to pit again, I believe. It's going to be a long afternoon for him. Just can't believe what I'm seeing at the left-hand side of your screen. Montero and Cook, DNF. Magus Revi's in the pits. Magus Revi's in the pits. He realized, I'm in trouble here, I think, and realized, you know what? I'm going to have the most amount of time that I can possibly have. But he went mediums again. Did Magus Revi use another set of tires? Because he's on the mediums right now. I don't know whether he did. I don't believe Magus Revi has used... Oh, there we go, on the hards. Oh, Factor got me again, ladies and gentlemen. He got me again. Magus Revi's going to go to the end, but now he's going to have to catch up. Before he can even catch up Walcott, he has to catch up Darren Fisher, who is now slotting himself into P4. So Magus Revi came out in the Haas sandwich. Walcott now sniffing second place from Lalenset. So Magus Revi noticed that he was in a little bit of danger, a little bit of trouble, as Cooper's pitted. Cooper pitted. OTTO it was coming out of the pits, actually. I believe Cooper's pitted. Yes, he has. Cooper's pitted. He's got the soft tires on. Hallelujah. He's come out in traffic, but Cooper's now going to be nice and fast. So Cooper did go long, did put the softs on, as we thought he might be doing when he kept going. So back up to the front, as we're going to watch Cooper surely make a pass on Richard Haney. Oh, you see the McLaren just popping up to the inside. Nice pass from Glenn Cooper. So back up to the top. What will Argenis Riera do? Will he do what Magus Revi did? And will he pit and realize I need as much time as possible on my new set of tires to catch back up Lalenset and Walcott? Or is he going to try and stretch it out and go to the end? Only time will tell. Cooper got overtaken by... Oh no, he's back. Cooper's on the back of Josh Mills. Oh. 20 laps remaining in Suzuka. Glenn Cooper, who's been just waddling around on the same set of tires for a long time, all of a sudden now has got some real speed and a fast car underneath him on a new set of soft tires. And he's all over the back of a recovering Josh Mills. Montero was leading this race, leading the championship. He's out of the race. We can only assume a disconnect for him, unless it was another mistake, but I don't believe so. Will Cooper get the pass done on Josh Mills here? This is important. This is for race position. Cooper on Mills! No. Magus Revi's last lap time. He's come out in traffic, so we're going to have to wait for this lap time to see what he can do. He's going to have to start closing up on Walcott, who is all over the back of Lalancette again. If Walcott can stay in the DRS of Lalancette, he can save his tyres even more. He's hoping to push Lalancette into a mistake. There's a yellow, but I don't see anybody flying down the order. It's still Cooper and Mills that's the closest fight on the circuit for P8. Is Mills going to fight it? These two guys both love a good fight for position. This could definitely get tasty, but Cooper's tires are much better than Mills's are. And we'll see if Cooper can line him up, either coming into the chicane or coming out of the chicane. Mills's battery use is very strategic. Oh, you could see the car lock up. Kick. Just a little kick under braking. Mills dives into the pits. Doesn't want to lose time in this fight. But Mills is going to come out. When is he going to come out? Probably in P11. Yes, as Mitsalis is coming around the final corner, so not sure if Mitsalis is going to get past Josh Mills or not. He might do, you know. So Mills may come out behind Tony Mitsalis. It's going to be close. Mitsalis has it. More work for Josh Mills to do this afternoon. So Walcott now has... Is this OTTO behind him? Yeah, so Acosta is now behind these two guys on a new set of tires, I'm assuming, or he's just been lapped. Is he catching up these two drivers? Is this going to get entertaining? Look at how close Walcott is to the back of JPL. Can you line him up? Down the straight, Richard Walcott on Jean-Pierre Lalancette. The DRS is open for the Ferrari. Here goes Walcott. Can't quite make it work. Walcott's in a good position for the race because Argenis Riera has pitted, ladies and gentlemen. Lalancette is leading the Japanese Grand Prix. I am so happy right now. Riera is going to have to overtake Walcott and Lalancette on the track, on the same tyres, granted new ones, but we've got a dogfight here for the win today. Absolute cracker. The first time they've really been on the same tyres all day. Walcott needs to clear Lalancette very quickly and hope that Lalancette can hold up Riera. If Walcott wins this race, I might just lose it. If Lalancette wins the race, I might just lose it. Mills got by Mitsalis. And Will Worrell is in the pits. P15, so he's in the pits for his final stop. Again, still 18 runners, so nothing to cry home about. Here's Cooper on Sean Higgins for P6. But we have to keep an eye on the front battle as well, so I will be doing that for you guys. Do not worry. We'll keep an eye on the gap, and anytime the gap goes down, I will jump on board like this. It's because we're at the end of the straight, unfortunately. So Walcott now has to wait around the whole first sector. What's Riera's lap time is going to be? We will see them this next time around. So Magus Revi did a 30.5 last lap. The lead is 31.5. So 1 second is a lot. So I think it's going to be very difficult for Magus Revi to catch and pass, but not impossible. Right now, you think that Riera would be able to do it, to catch and pass them. But who knows? Riera is on the medium tires. Apologies, he's not on the hards. A new best lap time of the race from Josh Mills, 29.1. Just reminding you that he's still in the race. He must have the, no, he has the medium tires on. I thought he would have had the soft tires on to do a lap time like that. So Mills has got some pace. He'll be devastated that he's all the way down in P10. How high up can he get? He will get P9. I think he might get the 2 Higgins-Haney battle, and that would be about it. So P7 is a maximum, I think, today for Josh Mills. Back on board with the front. Walcott takes the lead of the race because Jean-Pierre Lalancette is into the pits. I am shocked that Lalancette couldn't go a little bit further on these tires. Is this a strategic move where he believes that there's no chance he's going to be able to make it? Now becomes the question. Walcott did such an incredible job of pushing it out in the first stint. How far can this Ferrari go? Why would he pit? You're in the lead of the race. Not good news for him because that releases Riera for a free attack on Walcott. So I would think Riera all of a sudden now feels very good about taking the lead of this race back from Walcott because he is flying 29.5. Walcott with a 31. Higgins is in the pits. So that means Haney will also have to pit. Higgins is going to come out still in the top 10. Tony Metzalis, my favorite driver, back in my favorite position. P11. Just needs one more person to DNF. The problem is, I found when you're wanting one person to DNF and you're sitting in P11, it's usually you that DNFs. I've had that happen a few times where you're like, if I can have one DNF, and then all of a sudden you're in the wall. 5.9 seconds now, Riera on Walcott. What is Magus Revi on Walcott looking like? Magus Revi last lap was slower than Richard Walcott. Magus Revi was slower than Walcott. We're waiting to see what his other updated time was. But Walcott has picked up the pace. Since Lalancette has left him, Walcott has decided, I'm going to pick up the pace. We know he can go at least another 3 or 4 laps because he did it already. So that would be to lap 44. So he's either going to then pit and come out with a fresh set of softs on, or he's just going to keep going. I would not put it past Walcott to make the end of this race. Fisher's still going around in a good position. He's in P5. He's had a very kind of quiet race. He had to overtake his teammate, but he's since pulled away, and there's 3 cars between him and his teammate now. So Fisher, very solid drive from him. JPL, very solid drive. How far is he behind Magus Revi? Not very at all. So if Magus Revi doesn't get on with this at catching Walcott, then he's going to have a Red Bull right behind him. Just checking. Just checking. No pit stop. Ooh, some bad traffic. Oh! What did I just see? What did I just see? That was oh, that was wild. Oh, double T.O. Acosta unlapping himself from the race leader Walcott whilst who came out of the pits? Is it Oppenheim? No, it was Broderson. That was intense. Back up to the front. 3.7 seconds now, Riera and Walcott. Riera's going to make this look easy. Walcott would have needed Lalancet to really hold Riera back, and that didn't happen. So I think Riera is going to be easily passed. Walcott probably won't fight him because Walcott now is fighting Magasrevi, Lalancet. He's either going to get them all or he's going to get neither of them. There's still 12 laps to go. It's not going to be as easy as I first thought to keep him behind. Magasrevi and Walcott did the exact same lap time last lap. How is Walcott making this pace work on these tires? Is he diving into the pits? No, we're going to be checking every single lap for the next 12 laps. Just to make sure. It's going to have some traffic coming up. I can't watch that because it just scares the living life out of me. Toronto traffic scares me. And SimRacingHub traffic scares me even more. Mills is up to P9. So he will be up to P8 when Haney pits. And Mills is now on the back of Kovacic. Josh Mills putting in a recovery drive here. Doing a stronger job than others that have made a mistake or had to do it. Whoa! Ladies and gentlemen, this car is not fun. I'm going to go off board with him as soon as I can because I do not want to see him in the wall again. I like him too much. Although I hate the Red Bull car. That's just personal trauma. You can see it kicking around, squirreling. What is going on with that Red Bull? Every single corner, it's just kind of dotting and darting, and it shouldn't be having that much of a problem, I don't think, to overtake Kovacic, but Mills still is. How deadly is it going to be around this section of the circuit? The Degners and the hairpin. Let's just take a look at the hairpin one more time. Very gently does it. Walcott still leading the race. 2.4 seconds from Riera. So we're going to have to keep that. And Lalancet has caught up the back of Yanis Magasrevi. Jean-Pierre Lalancet for P3 on Magasrevi. Magasrevi goes defensive. Stays to the inside. You'll get away with it at this circuit. But there's a long way to go if Magasrevi's hoping to hold on to this podium. And meanwhile, while these guys are doing this fight, Walcott is loving it out front. Mills on Kovacic again. Can he get it done? There's going to be some more traffic because he's going to come out right near Darren Fisher. There goes Mills. Jumps up the inside of both the Haas cars. Kovacic ahead of Fisher, who does pit. So Mills is up to P7. He will actually get P6 today. I did him dirty with the one position when I said T7 was the best he could do. Speaking of doing dirty, OTTO, the dirty pass on Bill Worrell. Clean, but it was on the dirty side of the track, so that's why it was a dirty pass. You see what I did there? Lalancet on Magasrevi. Can Magasrevi hold Lalancet off for what is going to be 10 laps? And we also have to watch the leaders because there is Riera and there is Walcott. There's 2 credit cards in between him, but don't don't worry about that too much. Lalancet on Magasrevi again. No chance this time around. Magasrevi's just going to block that off. And now that Lalancet hasn't got the pass done for 2 laps, a mistake from Magasrevi. Went very deep. Luckily, there's nowhere to pass. If he can nail the S's, he can get that space back. There's some traffic coming up too. You would normally think that's an opportunity to pass, but I stay with my theory that the traffic usually hurts the second car more than it hurts the first car. This time, it hurts neither. Nice getting out of the way there. It was Cliff Vanley Ward. So Lalancet on Magasrevi. our Janus Riera on Richard Walcott. But Walcott is still putting in solid lap times on old tyres. Will he pit? He's only got one credit card in between him now. His credit's been cut in half, but he's still going round for another lap. Richard Walcott, the fans screaming him on. Jean-Pierre Lalancette. Now Magus Revi went very deep there into the chicane, and I think this is going to be it. This is his chance. Lalancette on Janos Magus Revi for P3 in the Suzuka Grand Prix. Magus Revi covers him off beautifully. No chance. Mills now attacking Richard Haney for P6. Haney, I would have thought, would have had to pit. No, he's still going around. He doesn't need to. So this is for track position. Mills on Haney. Gets the pass done. So Josh Mills up to P6. That's it, ladies and gentlemen. He's not going to get any further than that. Glenn Cooper's 20 seconds down the road. And Glenn Cooper is on the soft tyres as well. So unless for some reason he falls off a cliff or ends up wherever Montero is. Starbucks, I think. Cardozo attacking Mitsalis for P10. There's a point available maybe here today. That's because Fisher. What happened to Darren Fisher? We completely missed this. I say we, I mean me. Me and the cat missed Fisher. All the way down the order. No. He was doing so well. He was having such a good start to the season. Darren Fisher all the way down. Riera still not getting past. Lalancette again on Magus Revi. Still not close enough. Janos is going to cover him off into turn 1. He's allowed to do that. Anyone that says that's not fair doesn't know racing. But Fisher, that is such a blow because he was doing so well, and that means that the rookie Kovacic is getting the points for Haas team with a solid drive. Cardozo on Mitsalis, 130R. Walcott still leading this race, but Argenis Riera is right behind him. Here comes Cardozo. Good defending from Mitsalis. Cardozo trying to go around the outside. Cardozo around the outside of turn 1 with a great pass. Darren Fisher with a new best lap time, spoiling the day. He's not even going to get a point for the fast lap because he's not in the points, but he's going to take away a point from somebody else. So he's still going around and trying, but so disappointing for him. Now up at the top, Riera. He is all over the back of Walcott. Will he get the lead of the race? No, he won't, ladies and gentlemen. Walcott's going to hold it for a bit more. Will Lalancette get by Magus Revi? Yes, he will, surely here. Lalancette on Magus Revi again. He's going to have to go to the outside. They almost touch. Magus Revi holds him off again. I'm not sure how Walcott and Magus Revi kept those positions for another lap, but they did. I think it's time that we admit that Walcott is not going to pit, ladies and gentlemen. This is not going to happen. He's not going to give up the lead of this race. He's going to continue to go around as a yellow. And it was Lalancette. No, Lalancette's still behind. Here comes Riera. Riera trying to take the leader's race from Walcott. I mean, surely he will do it. He just has to sit behind him for the straight, but Walcott is just driving a stormer. He's driving... Look at the gap! How is he pulling out the gap on those old hard tires? This is just fantastic. I don't think Riera's going to get it done this lap either. Are we starting to believe, ladies and gentlemen? Are we starting to believe that Richard Walcott could win the Suzuka Grand Prix. If you're only starting to believe now, the question is, why did you not listen to me 20 laps ago? We could see this playing out. We know what Walcott does. He misses the first race and then he goes and leads the second race for no reason at all. It's just such a good circuit for him too. Such a smooth driver and it's flowing corners and he's protected the tyres. And now he's got an Aston Martin of Genis Riera all over the back of him. But Riera's got to be trying. He's trying, ladies and gentlemen, to make the pass. Much quicker on the brakes into the hairpin. We're going to see the pass for the lead of the Grand Prix, surely sooner or later. All Riera has to do is keep it tight through the spoon curve. Keep on the back of Walcott. Has Walcott saved up enough battery? I'm not sure he's going to be able to hold him off for this straight and the next one. This is the closest that Riera has been. He needs to hit the chicane perfectly. Walcott clips the curb. Riera does it beautifully, ladies and gentlemen. He's going to take the lead of the race back. He's going to break the Bermudan hearts as Genis Riera retakes the lead of the Suzuka Grand Prix finally. With 5 laps to go, Walcott couldn't quite hold on, but he's still on for a second place finish right now, with Lalancet falling way back from Magus Revi with a mistake. Magus Revi not catching Walcott. Walcott's on for P2 here. While we were watching that, Kovacic overtook Haney, so Haney and Higgins are back together again, which is what they love to do better than anything else. Be side by side with each other. A good drive for them today and getting points so long as they bring it home. Cardozo still holding on to that one final point. Genis Riera leading the race. Walcott's still right there. I don't know how. I'm not sure how. But Richard Walcott is not giving up the fight on his old battered tyres. He's within DRS. He's going to get DRS. He brakes later than Riera. He takes a ton of curve to try and get the car around. Walcott is going to have the DRS. He's going to stay right there. But surely that's a mountain too much to climb. I just don't know where this pace from Walcott has been. He's just been brilliant. Will Lalancet catch Magus Revi back up? He's trying. He took a second out of him last lap. So Magus Revi is struggling on these tires. Trying to hold on to third. Haney's trying to get past Higgins. Again, I think he's already made this pass. Or was it Higgins on Haney, or Haney on Higgins, or Higgins on Haney? I'm not quite sure. But one of them is trying to overtake the other one. Not going to get it done this lap. OTTO is up to 14th. He's going to get another place for senior. But that's it. Fisher's up to P12. He's going to overtake Mitsalis. Can Fisher overtake and catch Cardozo for P10? There's a possibility, ladies and gentlemen. Darren Fisher might not be done, but he needs to get this pass done. Oh, can he do it? That's bold. That's bold. Sideways. He doesn't get it done. He knows he needed to get that done there. It was aggressive racing. Overall, it was clean racing. Both drivers still continuing on, and Fisher was the one that almost lost out. Swish Fish trying his best to steal. It would be 2 points for him because he still owns the fastest lap of the race. So 10th place for him is 2 points. 11th place, 0 points. Where's Fisher? Oh, launch in the rear. We saw Fisher losing in qualifying. Can he try around the outside of Spoon? Mitsalis gonna give it everything that he can, but Fisher around the outside, he gets that pass done. So Swish Fish not giving up. He now has 3 laps to catch up Cardozo. Walcott, unfortunately, ladies and gentlemen, has fallen back 1.5 seconds from Riera, but he's still 10 seconds ahead of Magus Revi. That is, I thought that would be close. Not even close. Acosta on Senior. We'll watch every single pass, of course, that we can watch. Acosta will do it easily. He's up to P13. So it's really about Fisher and Cardozo, and it's also about Lalancet and a struggling Magus Revi. Janos is really struggling on these tyres. You can see it because Lalancet was all over the back of him, fell back, and now he's a couple laps away from overtaking him. It's going to be a tough pass. Can Janos hang on to third? It would be a good result for him, a good rebound if he can. Fisher can see Cardozo, can see 2 points. We've already seen he's not afraid to give it a go. Soft tires versus hard tires for Cardozo. Here's Lalancet on Magus Revi. Battle for a podium. Walcott still staying with Riera. I don't know how, but he's not losing any time to Riera. They're almost matching lap times. Obviously Riera's turned it down now, but still, it's just a great drive. I can't say it enough. If you would have bet the cat on Walcott, they would have lost the cat. But you would have done it with a smile on your face. Lalancet and Magus Revi going around one more time around the Suzuka circuit. As Argenis Riera is going to start his penultimate lap. 2 laps to go. Lots of time for Fisher to get by Cardozo. He doesn't need to be very aggressive. He can easily pass the Alpine. But we'd love a bold pass. Coming out of the hairpin's dangerous. We've seen his car lose control. He did a pass on the outside of Spoon last lap. Can Fisher do a special again? He's going to wait for the straight. Cardozo carrying some good speed around. Fisher nice and tight. Is he close enough? Lalancet still behind Magus Revi. Fisher right behind Cardozo, looking for 2 points. Has the fastest lap of the race. Will get a point for fastest lap of the race if he can get past the Alpine of Cardozo. These drivers are still in a lead lap, so there's still 2 laps to go. There is a yellow. I'm checking to see if we know who that is. As here we go, Fisher around the outside of Cardozo. Easy peasy. Acosta got by Mitsalis. Broderson is falling down the timesheets. Ricardo Sr. is in the wall. That's who is in the wall. Oh, don't reverse on the circuit. That's never a good idea. But lots of action at the end of this race. Senior now, I think it's just time to park it, son. Oh, he's taking the go-kart track. What are we doing? Go into the pit lane. There he goes. Thank you very much. Okay, back on up front. Lalancet could not get past. You've got Sean Higgins attacking the rookie, Kovacic. This is a great fight. Where did this fight come from? Higgins has just all of a sudden decided, you know what? I wouldn't mind P7. New soft tires. Oh, and he almost lost everything. The last lap of the race for Riera. Lalancet still behind Magus Revi. Walcott is right behind Argenis Riera. What? Why is Walcott right behind Rajenis Vieira? What is Vieira doing? Is he saving fuel? If Walcott overtakes Vieira here, I might lose my mind. He's right there. Richard Walcott, will he launch one into the chicane to win the Suzuka Grand Prix? He will look. He will get defended off. Will he get a launch on the exit? Vieira is going to hold on to win the Suzuka Grand Prix from Richard Walcott in one of the most spectacular drives that you've seen. Lalancet will not overtake Magus Revi for P3. He will come in P4. I don't believe what I just saw with Walcott almost winning that race. What a race. Mills recovers back to P6. Higgins is still attacking Kovacic. Let's keep an eye on this. Higgins might do a little bit of a throw in into the last chicane. He's gaining. He's got to do it. He's got to do it. You've got to do it. He's got to do it. It's carnage. It's crashed. Oh, they're off. Higgins is going to have to let him back by because that won't fly with the stewards. They're still side by side. Oh, this is getting naughty. It's getting silly. It became really silly. And Higgins has now got one wheel. There's a retirement. Did they cross the line? Haney did not manage to overtake any of them. So the most just spectacularly terrible end to a 7th and 8th place finish that I've ever seen. We love it for the action, but that was horrific driving at the second part of it. But hey, it was entertaining. I don't feel like I have no voice anymore. I got a beaming smile on my face. I have nothing to say. Argenis Vieira wins the race. Montero can only look on as he is out of the race. But with Montero leaving the race got unbelievably exciting. Richard Walcott, what in the blue moon was that? How did he almost pull that off? If Lalancet would have held Vieira up, it would have happened. But instead, it's Argenis Vieira who takes the lead of the championship, who wins the Suzuka Grand Prix. Janos Magus Revi comes home in third. A great recovery drive from him in a car that probably wasn't third place today. Lalancet, just a spectacular drive that was somehow outdone. Lalancet would have done enough to get the driver of the day on a regular race. But you cannot take it away from this guy. What a race. What a drive, Walcott. Ladies and gentlemen, that's Sim Racing Hub. We will see you again in 2 weeks from Saudi Arabia. And we'll do this all again. Just as much fun as we had last time. Please, stay safe, enjoy, and we'll see